Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome Winry's Whimsical One-Shots with Ronin's Den. This month, we are going to be playing the Fallout Tabletop RPG. Joe is going to be our storyteller, and we have a special guest with Midnight Tavern who's got some exciting information for our viewers tonight, if you'd like to take over and fill everybody in.
Hello there, Midnight Tavern. We are going to be doing a kind of joint promotion with Ronin's Den, where anything in the store at the midnighttavern.com with the Fallout tag on it, basically just search Fallout. We have role-playing game, we have Fallout factions, we have Wasteland Warfare, all kinds of items for your Fallout fantasies. And if you use the promo code Vault21, that will get you 10% off of your entire purchase of the Fallout items, as well as helping to raise some money for Ronin's Den as well. So if you are looking to get into the role-playing game, you like what you see tonight and want to check it out, definitely stop by the Midnight Tavern and look that up. We have the core rule books in stock. I'm also going to be putting in another order. The code is good for the next 2 weeks on the website. So from now until the 14th of September, I'm going to be getting a couple more items in, including the dice sets and the starter sets. Those should be coming in within the next week or so. They do have the quick starts available. It's free digital download. You can also get it directly off of Modifius's website, but if you want to, it's there. So just to make it easy for you. So yeah, Vault21 is the code, something very special for my character. And with that, I pass it back over to Joe, our awesome game master.
I mean, you're saying awesome, but we haven't even started yet. You don't know how I run games.
Putting it out into the universe, let's see what happens.
It's a manifestation.
That's right.
So I'm going to do a quick, this is how I'm going to break it down. I'm going to do a quick primer of the rule system for 2D20, especially the Fallout system. There's a lot of 2D20 out there. And I've only read through Dune and played Fallout, so I only have Dune to compare it to, and Dune is weird. But that's not even the setting withstanding the game mechanics. But the way the system works is all of your die rolls by a baseline are a 2d20. So if I'm asking you to make a check, 2d20 is what your base is. To find your target number for any given check, you have to add together a skill and an attribute. Now, each of the skills on your character sheet do tell you the standard attribute. But in some cases, if you think that you could argue that a different attribute would be used in this situation, or to solve a problem, you have a skill and attribute combination in mind, feel free to pitch it to me. And if I'm down with it, then you can do it. Go for it. There's another mechanic that we need to keep track of, but we'll do. Oh, sorry, I was skipping target number. So you add the skill and attribute together. That's your target number. If you look at your character sheets for the weapons already have their target number in there. You have to roll equal to or under on any of the given d20s you roll for a single success on that target number. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So from there, if you roll a natural 1, then it's a critical success and it counts as 2 successes instead of just 1. If your skill is a tag skill, so say for example, Johnny, how's it pronounced? Your character?
Johnny.
Okay. Johnny Two Guns over here has a tag skill with small guns. If you roll a 3 or below on the d20, that is a critical success. Your rank in the skill is your critical success range if it's a tag skill. So it would count as 2 successes. A lot of times, if you're targeting an enemy, they may have a defensive 1 or a defensive 2. You have to get that many successes to hit them. If I tell you a test is a difficulty blank, whatever the difficulty is, that is how many successes you need to pass the test. You can even do difficulty 0 tests. You can either opt to just automatically pass, or you can risk to pass. And the reason you would risk is action points, and that's the next section. I need someone at this table to volunteer to track your team's action points. Okay, Midnight has volunteered. You have a number of action points equal to the total number of players currently, 4. You can have no more than 6 at any given time. You as a team share your action points, and you can spend action points to do things like gain extra dice, or increase the damage, or do rerolls and things like that. So that's what they're beneficial for. In checks, if you ever roll more successes than you need to pass, so say a difficulty is 1 and you get like 2 or 3 successes, then you get those extra successes as action points added to the pool. In some circumstances, you can turn around and just spend them immediately. So in combat, if you're shooting someone and you roll like 3 successes and you only needed 1, you gain 2 action points. You can turn around and spend those action points to get more damage dice. Alternatively, if you're searching for information or scavenging for gear, you can spend those action points as part of the check to get more information or gear rolls for supplies. Does it make sense so far? Any questions? Nothing? Okay. The last bit is going to deal with luck points. You should have a pool of luck points equal to your luck score. You can spend those luck points to reroll any failure dice. So let's say you roll 2d20, you get 1 success and a failure. You can spend a luck point to reroll it. Your luck points will not recover, so use them wisely, but they're very useful for rerolling or like trying to take control of a scene for some reason. If you want to spend a luck point for certain things, or maybe some perks that you have, consume luck points and use them. So that's some basics. If we come into any special rules or if you have any questions, then we'll address them as we go. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to make one quick correction. Sorry, the Vault 21 promo code is not 10% discount. It is a 15% discount on all Fallout items in the store.
That sounds like you have some fiduciary responsibility to utilize that code correctly.
I do. And you said we had 47 action points. Got it.
4.
I have to roll 4 d7s to get our action points? Okay.
No.
God, a D7. Imagine what that
We're
looked
off the
like.
rails.
It looks really weird. I got a set of Dungeon Crawl Classics dice.
game. This is not a Call of Cthulhu game. I do not want that non-Euclidean crap in my dice rolls.
Let me roll the hypercube.
All right, so we are going to begin in the small town of Good Springs. It is southeast of New Vegas, and it is a very much like your average small town, insofar that its population is probably in the very mid double digits. They primarily deal in Bighorner, which is Fallout's equivalent of giant rams. The people of the town are pretty simple folk. They all got guns because they got to defend themselves against rampant bandits and stuff. By the year of 2278, though, a lot of the tribal bandits in the area have calmed down. 4 years ago, one Mr. Robert House woke up from cryosleep in the core of New Vegas and set out to make deals with the local tribes, one of which was known as the Boot Riders. They have now become one of the founding families of New Vegas, known as the oh crud, I can't remember their name. It's Benny. They're the chairman. It's the chairman. They're in the pinstripe suits and they got the ring a ding ding baby going. They're basically Frank Sinatra of the gang. So the chairmen are one of the 3 founding families of New Vegas. Since the 3 of the biggest tribes became the founding families, bandit activity in the region has calmed down. There's still some issues with the Great Khans and the looming threat from one Caesar's Legion in the east, and now the government has shown up in the form of the NCR from the west, kind of creating pressure on the local populace to like, hey, maybe you should be annexed. And New Vegas is kind of just like doing its thing and living its life and just being the best it can, and that includes all the little settlements outside. So why don't we take a few moments as everyone is joining each other at the Prospector Saloon, and everyone describe their characters, starting with Midnight Tavern, and I'll go around the order from what I have.
So my character is Justin Time, like the herb, only better. And he is actually a former vault dweller of Vault 21 in New Vegas. Mr. House, who kind of came to power, decided to make an agreement to shut down the vault. And the Vault 21 social experiment was very much geared towards using gambling to settle all disputes. And Mr. House played against some of the people who did not want to basically open up their vault to the outside world and become one with the New Vegas, as Mr. House was trying to do. He played them in a very wonderful game of blackjack, and as always, the house always wins. And so he did. The vault was basically shut down, and most of us were kind of just kicked out onto our ear. And Justin decided, you know what, this is, bittersweet, but look at this great big world out here, something that he's never seen before. So he has been out and about for the last few years, picking up jobs where he can, learning all about the crazy wide world out there. And he's just honestly pleased to be out in it. It's something totally different than everything he'd ever grown up to know and to understand. And in the meantime, he happened to be on a job and he's looking for someone, and there was some missing information. So he thought he would step into Good Springs to see another former vault dweller. So he is looking around for Mr. Doc Mitchell, I believe is the correct name. So he's going to stop by and see if he can find Doc, kind of catch up on some old times, and find out if Doc can help him find somebody.
Are you, even though it's been a few years, still sporting your vault suit?
It is a little bit worn down, a little bit modified, probably repaired here and there, but still, in essence, he looks like he's got the vault gear pretty unchanged.
All righty. All right, Zach, why don't you go next? I'm going clockwise from what I see. So.
Yeah. My character's name is Price Cooper, child of Adam. He was stranded on a billboard following an event he will not discuss, and was rescued by the child of Adam, and now has taken it upon himself to proselytize the good word of the Adam to anyone who will hear it. And he's just moseyed into Good Springs looking for some folks to help.
Nice. Sounds good. How are you carrying yourself? You got any of those symbols of Adam out in the open, or you keep them tucked under your robes for now?
Oh no, yeah. I'd say probably still dresses kind of westerny with like a duster, has a giant, medallion. Maybe just wears a duster over his robes or something. But yeah, definitely has the medallion out and just kind of.
Nice. Is it Kyra? Kira?
Sorry.
No.
My character's name is Johnny Two Guns Bianchi. She grew up in Freeside and joined the Kings at an early age, and has just kind of been making a name for herself in the Freeside area.
And the two guns is a literal metaphor or literal thing?
She only has one pistol.
Fair. And duality, what we got?
So my character's name is Glenn Conway. Glenn is a ghoul, and he's from before the war happened. He was a medical sales representative to the local hospitals and the doctor's offices, peddling, the latest ED medications and antibiotics and whatever else the pharmaceutical company he was working for wanted him to get everybody, prescribing. The bombs fell, and he had the unfortunate experience to see the flash. He woke up on the side of the road, and instead of being a crispy critter, he was slightly charred, but still very much alive. Just, not touched by the atom, we'll say. Since then, he's just been wandering from town to town through the Mojave and other wastelands, peddling chems, scavenging, and reselling whatever he can get his hands on.
All right.
Yep. He does have a pack Brahmin with him that he calls Bonnie and Clyde, because it's, two heads.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that is Glenn.
Excellent. So, for whatever reason, probably mostly because the Prospector Saloon is the only major building in Good Springs. Like literally, it is a one-horse town. It would be if horses still existed in Fallout. But you guys all kind of meander in there for various reasons. I've sent some messages before to you guys, so you kind of know why you're here. And you're greeted at the bar by one Trudy. She is the mayor of Good Springs and incredibly low res compared to current contemporary video game designs. But she still is the de facto mayor of Good Springs and is the one that sent out the call for help, or has been noted as a contact point. And for some of you that have come through Good Springs before or know someone in Good Springs, you know she's the person to talk to if you're looking for somebody. So, with all of you at the bar at the moment, whether or not you're all super friendly with each other yet, you're the only 4 in the bar at the time, and Trudy does gesture to each of you together. It's like, so y'all outsiders are here to help us find our townsfolk, yeah? Because we need help with that. We can defend ourselves, but we ain't good going out and looking for folk.
Well, I'll say if anybody does need some help, I'll be happy to help them out. I was eyeballing this ghoul feller over here, and really admiring the way that Adam done blessed your skin.
Kind words from a smooth skin. Most of you are so bigoted against ghouls. Nice to see a friendly face.
Yes, sir. I love ghouls and all other folk.
Of course, if you find out you're lying to me, your skin won't be so smooth.
Well, I just love that, sir. I'd love to be a ghoul. To be that close to the Adam's embrace, why, that'd be quite the blessing.
Glenn's gonna pick at one of his open little areas and just kind of peel off a little bit of the hanging skin, and just kind of put it on the bar and continue drinking his drink.
Bryce will lean as close as he feels is polite to observe this. Maybe try to sleight of hand the skin away and save it for later.
Oh.
So Justin will just kind of just sit pleasantly to the side. Well, if I can help people, that's what I'm here to do. But as long as I can find out my good old friend Doc, that's who I'm here to see. And if you're the person to be able to help me to find him, I'd be much obliged to help you out as well.
Well, that's part of the issue. Doc's one of the people that have been kidnapped. Doc and young Sonny. They were taken by some bandits. We ain't seen them that often around here. Former boot riders. They ain't been around for a while though. We asked the chairman for help, but they don't send people out this way.
Well, it seems fate has dealt us the same hand. So what can we do?
They left a message. They left a note. Let me find the note. No note. Loading.
This lady over here is awful quiet with the one gun and all. Say, are you in on this action, ma'am?
I'm always down to help. I'm here on another job, but I'm looking for a man named Renault.
Well, he would, I believe, be the one that took our people.
Well, then it looks like our jobs align.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a ransom note made, and I completely lost it.
I did.
You named it something you could never possibly forget.
While you're looking for the ransom note, and Glenn hears that Doc Mitchell's one of the ones that's missing, he's gonna kind of perk up in his chair, not he's anxiously. He's like, oh, Doc's one of the best smoothies I ever met. Always gives me a fair price for my chems. Definitely gotta go find him. Always kind to me and my
Doc's
kind.
He's always been much of a straight shooter. He was actually Doc in Vault 21. That's where I'm from. So I have a kind of interest to find my kin and see what's going on with him and help him out.
With as kind as he's been to me over the years, You definitely have my support and help.
Looks over at Johnny Two Guns. And who's this Renault person you're looking for?
All that was given to me was a name and a price.
Oh, you're a
So-
bounty hunter, huh?
Yes.
Trudy puts a note on the bar and slides it to y'all. It's written in poor red ink, badly spelled, poorly written. We took some of your stupid villagers. If you want them back, bring us 1,000 caps to the quarry. Don't talk to the rangers or NCR or we kill them. You have 4 days. If you don't bring them, then we feed them to the scorpions. Renault of the Boot Riders.
Renault's going to be riding
Well,
my boot.
looks like it's going to take you very little time to find your friend Renault there.
Hey, always happy to have an easy job.
Seems Lady Luck is smiling down on you already.
So, with that, Trudy gives you some information for your Pit Boy. You can drop it in the Pit Boy or on your vault, your Pit Boy. But in general, here is a map of the area: Good Springs, the Good Springs Cemetery, a quarry junction, and a small mining camp known as Sloan. There's a lot of ways you could go. It's up to you how you want to get there. You can either go straight across, or you can take the road around to Sloan. A little less hoofing or a little less rocky road in it, but it's a little more extra walking to do.
Now, is Miss Trudy, is this Sloan location, is that where these boot riders tend to be hanging out?
Well, they're in the Quarry Junction, if the note is to be believed, but Sloan is a small mining camp that usually the people that work the quarry work it, but they've been having some disagreements with the NCR as of late, so they're on strike, I think.
Mm. Oh, it seems a pretty direct, straight shot to the quarry, though. I think we might want to take a circuitous route to kind of take out the lay of the land.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. Normally, crossing straight wasteland isn't the best idea.
There are more critters out there, yes. And they
But
only
that's where
got
you
about
can
3
really
days.
get your rads in.
I only got about 2 days before we reach their prescribed day, but I'm imagining they'll extend it if we ain't sent them the caps by then, at least once. I'm hoping they do, depending on how long it takes y'all.
So, do you have the 1,000 caps? Are you planning to pay this ransom?
We got about 500, and that is what I was aiming to pay y'all to get them back.
All right. So, are we to take that with us as a part of a bait and switch tactic to find these people, or is that one of those we're going to go empty-handed for now and then find out afterwards whether or not they'll hold us to it?
So give me a speech and charisma check. Because even if your intent isn't to do this, it really does sound like you're asking for payment up front. And to Trudy,
Okay.
that sounds like you're going to bolt with the payment. So,
Don't know that it matters anything, but I'm like very much open and just, not trying to do
I get
anything
it.
on the back end. So that is a 6 + 1, so that's 2d20 under 7, correct? 7 or lower?
7 or under. Correct.
All right, we have a 14 and a 13, so that's a fail.
Now you can spend luck points to reroll if you want, or you can save them for later. It's up to you.
Is one luck point rerolls 1d20?
1 luck point will reroll whatever amount you want to from your dice pool. I'm sure there's a more stringent rule on that, but I'm being a little fast and loose to kind of have fun with it. A little more cinematic events.
Sounds good. I will do 1 luck point. Mark that down. Let's see if Lady Luck is shining on me after all. She is not. It's 11 and a 15.
Okay. I would rather maybe not. If y'all want to, let me put it this way: if y'all go out there with this 500 caps, and then something happens to you out in the wastes or the wilds, and you don't come back, then I'm out 500 caps and my village people, and I can't even send 500 to try and negotiate.
I do believe I misspoke. Will you be bringing these 500 caps out to hit this deadline, regardless if we come back or not?
That is the idea, that if you don't make it out there, if I don't hear anything in about 2 days, I'm going to be going out there myself with the 500 that I got, plus whatever I can find.
Understood.
Y'all got any other questions for me?
Do you have any information
Any information
on these band? Like, have you ran into them before? Anything we need to know going in about Renault, or?
not Renault himself, but the Boot Riders were one of the 3 big gangs in the area, the tribal gangs in the area, some time ago. About 4 years ago, they changed their ways. If y'all are local around here, I'm sure you kind of already know a little of that. We ain't seen much of them since then. They tend to like little knives, 9mm, nothing major, no big guns, and no one saw Sonny or Doc get kidnapped, so they must have come in the night when people were out.
As someone who was from New Vegas, do I have any kind of background on them at all?
I mean, you've probably run into the chairman before. They're one of the 3 families of New Vegas now. They're all ring a ding ding, baby. If you ever thought like Frank Sinatra, the gang, then that's what this is.
Well, these are the Boot Riders, though, right?
Correct. Excuse me real quick, guys. I am so sorry. My aunt is calling and she's sick, so I have to.
So looking at this map well, can't ask questions about the details.
Let's see.
Well, I'm all up for it. I ain't got nothing going on here in this town, so y'all want to head out?
No,
I
definitely.
mean, it's the job. It's the job I was sent here to do. So, no hurt, no sense in, no harm in making a little extra money on the side.
Not at all.
Like I said,
I just want to get a job like that anyway.
I was actually approached by the chairman. They said that they had some beef with this guy Renault and needed him taken care of.
So Miss Trudy goes to the chairman, asks for help, and they sublet it out to you, huh?
Sounds about right. They don't want to get their fancy suits dirty.
No, it's not quite their type. Plus, they're all working to get that New Vegas up and running, and they've got all kinds of outside pressures. It's kind of one of the reasons I left that area anyway. That and to see this wonderful wide world we at.
yeah, I'm definitely want to go help the doc. Like I said, he's always been good to me. My business, one of the best customers I got out here.
And how about you? Do I call you preacher? Do I call you brother? What do I call you?
Oh, you can call me Price or Cooper if you want.
Cooper, I like that.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm heading out to NCR. Gonna meet up with the Glow, kidney of Adam himself.
That sounds devilishly interesting.
Any of
Dangerous,
y'all
though.
ever been to the NCR?
I have not made my way out there just yet.
I've definitely passed my way through there once or twice on the trade routes.
I've traveled a bit, but never quite that far.
You ever been to the Glow, Mr. Ghoul?
No, can't say I've made it that far over. It's on my list.
Mine too.
Now, I do hate to appear rude and all, and if this is a rude question, please, by all means, forgive me and my ignorance, but how does the whole ghoul thing work exactly? I have not met many of your kind, and it's very interesting.
Well, I guess the easiest way to say it is radiation will make you possibly look like me if you're very, very unlucky. If you're lucky, it'll just kill you. If you're unlucky, you get a face like this. But long and the short of it, the radiations that hurt you guys actually heal me, make me feel healthier. It's like water for me. I'd much rather have the uranium than the purified.
But I hear it makes you longer lived. Is that true?
Oh, considering I'm a yeah, it's true. I'm well over, and he kind of scratches his head, and little flakes fall off here and there. And actually, I can't exactly remember how old I am, but it was before the bombs fell. I can tell you that. I just can't remember an exact day anymore.
My goodness. Well, I do understand that perhaps the circumstances around your situation were not the most pleasant, and I do not mean to dismiss them or dissuade any type of understanding of the pain you must have gone through, but to have lived so long and seen so much, that is truly interesting to me.
Well, you gotta figure though, a lot of those years are just spent running, screaming, bleeding, and watching people die. Though before the bombs, everything was different. It was safer, calmer, happier. And there was many years where we didn't even have towns like Good Springs out there. It was just total and unadulterated anarchy and carnage. And then we slowly started to rebuild. So yeah, I've seen a lot. Most of it wasn't good.
Much like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Ah, the radiated phoenix from the glow of the Radiation King.
Well, I would give anything to see all that creation happening during the Great War, all those atoms splitting off into new universes every which way. I can imagine. Must have been real chaotic, but dang, must have been beautiful too.
You might have some twisted sense of what beauty looks like.
It is definitely a very unique viewpoint, I have to say, to see what the outcome of that glow was and what it's done and the havoc it's wreaked. But to each their own, beauty's in the eye of the beholder and all that jazz.
Agreed. Most people don't find the ghoul's condition to be beautiful, to say the least.
Well, it seems you do have some admirers. That's on the plus side, isn't it? That's a win.
I would say, yeah, it can be, but when people look at you and they say, hey, this person likes the way you look, they go, oh, that's cute. They're an attractive person. When they look at me and they see all the flesh falling off and the hair moving away and whatever this thing is, and he kind of like sticks his finger through his cheek and wiggles his finger inside his mouth. They call that a fetish.
Playing this game as an RPG really raises a ton of questions. A ton.
What else can you do with that hole in your cheek?
What that cheek do?
Well, some people say tongue in cheek, and he can show it literally.
He's gonna stick his tongue through his cheek. Well.
Now, Mr. Johnny, where do you come from exactly?
I'm from Freeside. I grew up here. I've been making my time with the Kings and hoping to move on up in the world. But so far, just doing jobs when they come.
Making your way in the world, that's all a man can do. Man, woman, other, as it may be. Indicating to the ghoul. Although I suppose that's a bit rude too, so I apologize for that.
Been called a lot worse than other. I will take it.
Now, does it work? How does that work?
Oh, it is a bit offensive. But again, depending on the company, it might be the best I could hope for and the most polite way to say who I am. So,
Understood.
that was a bit garbly.
I say at this point, unless Trudy's going to give us some extra stuff, seems like she's taking a cell phone call in the wastelands. I imagine that's just a really, really long string, a couple of cans.
I think Trudy stepped out to get a refill of the sarsaparilla. Sunset sarsaparilla. Be nice if they brought back some NUKA. I haven't had a good NUKA cola, cold one in a while. All about that NUKA Quantum.
Oh yeah, you as a ghoul, you probably tasted that stuff fresh, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I'm sorry about that. You know?
Nothing like fresh NUKA Cola right on the shelf. The 200-year-old stuff. It packs a punch, but it's not. It doesn't taste the same. And you know what tastes really weird after 200 years? All those cups of noodles you find in the garbage that are just still perfectly cooked and ready to go. I don't know how they did it with the preservatives, but they preserved better than I did.
We've rescued all hostages. Nobody got hurt, and we actually found 7,000 cola caps.
Midnight, you
Right.
are
Good game, guys. Good
very...
game.
Midnight, you're very choppy at the moment with your audio and your videos frozen.
And you're choppy for us too.
I am?
Reality.
Okay.
For me. Yeah.
Okay, let me drop and... Oh, wait, I can't drop. I'm going to drop, and I will be right back if I am still really choppy. So if I'm choppy, give me a thumbs up. Okay.
Still a little bit, yeah. Well, better. You're
Better?
better.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Better.
Better.
It just started to happen when Joe came back, so it wasn't very long.
Yeah, you got a little choppy
Sorry
just
about that.
about a minute before Joe got back.
Apologies for having to step out like that.
Oh.
The family thing.
It's all
good.
good. We did a
You're
thing.
good.
We did some background, so we're all very well acquainted.
Excellent. I love it. I love to hear it. So once Zach is back, I guess we'll pick back up. Did you decide what route y'all are going to go?
That's
Not
actually
specifically.
something... I was going to say, that's something we didn't talk about. 200-year-old noodles and ghoul fetishes, sure, but which route we were going to take to rescue Doc, not so much. I love that face.
Yeah, we had to cover the important stuff first. There's a priority, and then we're going to get to the mundane, how to win type of stuff.
I get it. It's the hierarchy of needs.
Now, I did have a question though. The map and how it shows the quarry. I assume the quarry obviously is below ground, but is there hills surrounding the quarry, like where stuff was dumped out, or is it actual natural hills?
It is like natural hills. It's very rocky, uneven terrain. So if you guys head up to the Good Spring Cemetery, which is raised, you can kind of see where the quarry is, even though it's a good mile or two off. It's you can see roughly that it's got some hills. You can see some equipment popping up from beyond the hills, below the hills, so you can tell it dips into the ground. But the quarry itself is nestled amongst some hills.
And what's the distance, like travel time?
It's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from Good Springs. So you're looking at probably about if you head straight that way, it's probably going to be 6 to 8 hours. If you take the long way around, it's probably going to be about 12.
Well, y'all want to head up and get a view, see what we can see from the cemetery?
Yeah, I think we should scope it out first and then make our decision from there.
I'm
Sounds
here to help.
good. So you head up to the Good Springs Cemetery, and there is a large, you can only assume not functioning water tower, and a bunch of gravestones or grave headstones with some graves dug. If you look out to the east, you can kind of see in the very far distance some equipment. If anyone happens to have any binoculars or any sort of scoped items, they can look through that for more info. If they do not, then all you see is some mining equipment in the distance, kind of like sticking up out of the ground.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I do not have anything with the scope.
Same here.
Same.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's what you see.
Now,
You
on
also
those hills, does it look like there's any type of road that leads up from this angle, facing east, that goes up into the quarry, or does it look like this is just all rough terrain?
It's rough terrain. It's relatively navigatable rough terrain. Like there's pathways, so to speak, that people have probably walked, but there's no like formal roads. None of that busted up concrete you see everywhere else.
Well, seems like a pretty straight shot if we want to just go straight ahead.
Fair.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
The sooner we go out there, the sooner we save those people and get paid.
Sounds good. So the path to from Good Springs to Quarry Junction, you start heading out, taking some of the rough terrain. If I could get whoever's got the highest survival, roll a survival check. Everyone else can roll 1 die of a survival check, and if they get any successes, they can get. So basically, survival is the survival skill plus your endurance. You'll add it together, figure out what the highest is. Whoever is the primary rolls 2d20. Everyone else can roll supplementary with a 1d20, and for every success they get, they add to his success, the primary successes if they succeed. So who's got the highest survival in the party?
I have rank 2 and add endurance, so 9.
I have
All
I'm
right.
7.
rank 3 with endurance. My endurance is a 6. 9. 6. 9.
I have 0 survival skill, so I have an endurance of 6.
And who's got it as a tag skill?
Ooh, I got it as a tag skill. So that'd be me.
All right, so our ghoul merchant should probably take the lead. You roll the 2d20.
Okay.
Everyone else rolls a 1d20 survival check. If you pass and he succeeds, you get extra successes.
Okay. I'm going to roll that die, and I have gotten a 25 total for a 6 and a 19 on the die.
All right, the 20. Well, okay, the total is not mega important,
Okay.
but the 6 matters. That's what we need to know is the 6.
Yep.
So you got the 6. That's 1 success. Did you guys roll yours? Anyone else get any successes?
Yeah, I got a 4.
I got a
okay.
6.
Success.
And that's a success for me, too.
All right, so that's 2 more successes. So that first off, you're going to add 2 more action points to the pool.
All right.
And you guys have come across a busted up, broken down highwayman car along the way. And you find some equipment in that highwayman car.
Ooh.
Sweet.
I like equipment.
And
I
in that
accidentally
equip-
untagged one of my tag skills. Hang on, I'll
Should
just
have
reopen the
printed the
PDF. I'll just reopen it. That's what I can do. Sorry.
So you guys find a set of metal armor for your torso,
Mm-hmm.
some more tough clothing, some pre-war food, a bottle of purified water, and 6 bobby pins.
6 bobby pins.
This highwayman looks like it's like fell at an angle and it's stuck in the ground. It's really weird. Like it's not just like broken down in the middle of nowhere. It's like cratered into the ground, which is just not normal. Almost like you hear a woo in the distance. So you guys continue traveling along and give me another one of those survival checks.
All right. That would be me. Rolling 2. That would be a 6 and a 13. So 1 success.
So 1 more success. What about everyone else?
That 20, baby. Let's go.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I got a 7, which is mine 7. So is that still a success?
Yep, equal
Okay.
to or under. Midnight.
Nope, 0 successes.
Okay.
I'm rolling really good if we're playing D&D.
Yeah, I see.
So you guys come across a small nest of critters near, kind of in your way, and they notice you, but they're not going to get the drop on you. So I'm going to throw out there why they're not getting the drop on you now, and why you're able to notice them even though you don't get the drop on them. The survival check was to kind of like get an advantageous position, but as one of the team members made a natural 20, that is a critical failure or a complication. Complications are intended to be bad, but not necessarily so bad that it's just like the worst thing ever. So all you guys lost was getting the drop on them, but because you at least passed, they're not getting the drop on you either. Well, we'll see. We'll see if you want Fallout, Zach. So we're going to go into our first combat of the game. Let me pull up a quick Excel sheet because I got to track initiative. Initiative is relatively static. We don't have to worry too much about like fluctuating from round to round. And we'll go from there.
Now, quick question: as we've found all the stuff previous, and there was armor and tough clothing, has anyone used that? And is that a upgrade for anyone? I figure we probably would have equipped that before coming up to the next part.
I gave you guys some item cards, and if you guys want, I have access to. Here's the tough clothing.
Tough. Yep. I got that already, so I am good there.
Same.
I put down the bobby pins in pre-war food. I didn't write down anything else. I figured someone else would want the armor. Although, I guess, is anybody else a melee type character?
No, I'm ranged.
I am very much ranged and very much I don't want to get hit because I'm a merchant. I'm not a fighter, but I can take care of myself with a pistol if I need to.
So going by the icon there, the tough clothing encompasses everything, and you can't wear tough clothing along with the metal chest piece, correct?
You can wear tough clothing with the chest piece because tough clothing isn't an outfit. Clothing is like your vault suit. It's an Under Armour kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, I'll take the metal chest piece. I don't mind unless someone else can use it if they're melee.
I have a melee ability basically, so
All yours.
But I also
Can I
have a
get
gun,
everyone's-
so it's either way.
Can I get everyone's characters' names one more time? I have Johnny and Justin.
Glenn.
2 N's?
Price.
Sure.
I spelled the Irish way.
Yeah, I didn't put much thought into it.
That's fair. So on your character sheet should be your initiative. I need that from each of you. It is on the top under your luck points. Should be a static number. Johnny, what's your initiative?
Mine is 16.
Justin?
Sorry, it is 12.
All right. Glenn?
It is 12.
And Price.
Also 12. Does my defense go up to 3 now, or just 2?
No, if you look at the little paper doll part where the physical DRs are,
Uh-huh.
your physical DR for your torso goes up by 2,
Okay.
and the energy DR for your torso goes up by 1.
Okay, so I have 3 on my torso and 2 energy DR. Okay, cool.
Would I have expected that there's going to be a lot of radiation out here?
There might be some, but you'll be able to pick up on it before you get too far into it.
Okay, then I would probably put on the tough clothing instead of the vault jumpsuit, just because of the 1 damage. It's
Okay.
better than my 0.
All right, so the way this works is pretty standard. Initiative starts from highest, goes down. 16 is first with Johnny. Go ahead.
And just roll. Would it be small guns? I assume.
Small guns plus your agility. Yes. If you it's 2d20. You should see the target number next to your weapon, and that's your target to hit.
Let's see. Okay. I got a 7 and a 16, so it's a 1 success.
Okay. You do hit. Let me roll a location. You hit it in the torso. So go ahead and roll your damage. So your damage is going to be, if you look at your character sheet, the little damage thing, you roll the number of dice it has listed there.
Okay, so roll 4 dice.
Mm-hmm.
What
little
did,
d6s.
What did the symbols mean?
I'll get to that whenever we roll.
Okay. I got 2 blanks, a double bullet hole, and a single bullet hole.
So the bullet holes each count for 1 damage. The thumbs up also counts for 1 damage. It's a Vault Boy face on the actual dice, but on the little dice roll we have, it's 1's up. Each bullet hole counts as a single damage point. So you've done 3 damage then?
Yes. Yeah, I have 3 bullet holes.
Nice. All right, so first one's taken 3. It's still up and kicking. Justin, Glenn, and Price, you guys are next. You guys can decide what order you want to go since you all have the same initiative.
I'll go ahead and roll a die.
Okay.
How many creatures do we have?
3 total geckos.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot at one of them. I'll do the one that got hit.
Okay.
I did not hit that at all. That was a 19 and a 15. I want to spend a luck point. Do I re-roll both die or just one?
You can re-roll both.
All right, re-roll both on a single roll. Because this is also a tag skill. All right.
Yep.
All right, that is 1 success.
That's enough to hit. Now roll your damage die, which is going to be
the number of d6s equal to the damage rating, so that's 4. Yep. 3 thumbs up and 2 bullet holes.
All right, what are you wielding as a weapon?
Energy pistol.
Okay. It has the piercing quality?
Does it? Let me pull up my it has close range, qualities, close quarters, and damage effects piercing 1.
Okay, so the way piercing 1 works. So effects, anytime you roll the thumbs up or the faces on the regular dice, the effect triggers. For piercing, it does 1 damage and ignores 1 point of their armor. So you had 2 bullet holes and 3 thumbs up?
Yes, sir.
So you're doing 5 total damage and ignoring 3 of their armor.
Okay.
And
did I ash him?
That is a lot of... He is not ashed, unfortunately. He is very close, though. He did, however, receive a critical. I did not roll where you hit. If you would like to roll that, you can. There is there's a body location on there.
Let me roll that body location. That would be torso.
All right. Let me do the critical damage for the torso. Critical hits and injuries. There it is. So to the torso, you pierce his lung.
Ooh.
Nice.
They begin They begin bleeding profusely. At the end of each of their turns, they suffer 2 points of physical damage, ignoring all their damage resistances. So it gets to go, and then it's going to bleed. Nice. Justin and
Price.
Price. Yep, Price. I was pulling the sheet.
I have a is blast quality, is that like an area of effect or
Yes.
oh. Can I go first and just try to melt all these suckers? Okay. So I'm gonna use my gamma gun.
Okay.
It has blast and inaccurate.
Inaccurate. All that is you cannot gain the benefit of aiming, so to speak. That's all.
Okay. So I do the TN number and my agility.
You
Or
roll energy weapons plus whatever the energy weapon skill is. So you roll 2d20 and you need to hit under the TN or equal to.
okay, gotcha. So the TN is 10. And then
So,
energy weapons is perception.
well, that's already factored in. So you just roll the 2d20 and you'll need to
Uh-huh.
hit equal to or under the TN.
Oh, I see. And what's the tag skill or the tag on the gun and the skill
Energy
mean?
weapons.
Oh, it just means okay.
It is tagged.
Gotcha. Well, I got a 3 and a 1. A 1's a critical success, right? Or
Do you
Nice.
have energy weapons as a tag skill?
yes.
And you have a 3 at least in energy weapons?
Yes. Rank 3.
That is also critical then. So
nice.
you got 4 successes on 2 dice. That's adding 3 action points to the pool, or you can turn and spend them because I think you guys are full already.
We are-
But you could turn around and spend the action points for extra dice. You can increase the amount of damage dice you roll by 1 per action point spent. So
Okay,
up to
so
3.
I can basically just go ahead and add them since we're full, right?
Yep.
Okay, and how many
Unfully
damage?
intended. Go ahead and nuke them.
Yeah. And how many damage dice do I roll on this guy? Is it 3?
So-
The little
If you see the little face on the weapon, that's how
Yeah.
many damage dice.
in the damage column.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to be rolling 6 damage dice total because it has 3.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, I got 3 blanks and 3 thumbs up.
Okay. So the rad damage is what that weapon does, and essentially, because it has the radioactive quality, right?
It says type radiation. Is that what?
That's also a thing, but it should have a
Okay.
quality.
Quality just says blast and inaccurate.
Okay. Sorry. There's a lot of that is arguably one downside to this game is there's so many traits and things and to keep track of. Zone. Okay, so it is actually going to hit all 3 of them. Okay, so each creature is going to be taking 3 damage. And it is going to do, one of them is going to melt into a green radioactive pile of goo.
Yeah.
The other 2 are going to be injured, but you can't really tell how because there's no bullet holes. So yeah,
It's a little crispy skin.
yeah, basically. All right, so with that, it's Justin.
All right. So we have one is a puddle, one is bleeding, the other one seems to have
Crispy.
taken something. Yep, crispy. So the one
the bleeding one is the puddle now. He was
Oh, he's
injured
puddle.
and right.
Okay, so the other 2 had not even been hit until this gun went off.
Right.
All right. Having sat there during this entire combat, looking at my Pit Boy and scanning him, I'm gonna call a headshot on whichever one seems to be less healthy than the other one, if that's even the
they're
case.
same.
All right, then we'll take the left side.
Cool.
So I'm gonna roll 2d20 and small guns. Target number is 10. Wow. 14 and a 19. So I'm gonna spend another luck point.
Jeez.
Ooh, 7 and 7. So those are two successes.
Yep, that hits. With an extra action point, do you want to increase the damage by 1?
Um, if everyone doesn't mind, I'll borrow one of the action points. We'll leave us with
You would be
5.
gaining. Well, you're gaining an action point.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're full, so I'll use that action point on there. So that adds 2 successes would be how many dice?
So for the damage, your damage of your weapon is stat whatever it is on the weapon you're using,
4.
plus 1 additional dice.
Okay, so 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, big money. Ugh. All right, 2 thumbs up.
All right, so 2 damage. It is injured.
And that was to
All
the
right.
head.
Good to know. Good to grab. It is their turn. So let's see. The 2 closest. Well, everyone is roughly about the same distance. No one closed in on melee. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a 1d20 and kind of cycle through 1 through 5, 6 through 10, etc., etc. First one is going after Midnight, and the second one is going after Johnny. So first little gecko runs up. It waddles its way over to you with its weird big mouth and tries to take a bite out of you.
This is one I shot in the head, I assume.
Yes. It hits to your right leg. What's your defense?
I have just the defense. I have 1.
1. Okay. So it does hit. Let's see its damage.
Oh wait, so I have the tough clothing on. Does that add to my just the regular defense number?
It adds to your damage reduction whenever it does damage through. Defense is easy. How easy it is to hit. Damage reduction is how easy it is to hit you or damage.
Got it. Okay.
And it only does 2 damage. So what is the damage reduction of your right leg?
I'm assuming it's only physical, which has nothing in it, but I have the tough clothing, which has 1 shield on it.
Okay. So then it reduces it by 1. You take 1 point of damage.
Okay. And it says right leg 18-20.
Don't worry. Yeah, that's for if I'm rolling to hit locations and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I have a dice for damaging. Johnny, the other one's coming after you. What's your defense?
My defense is 2.
2. Got it. It got 1 success, which is not enough to hit you, so it misses you. So if you have a defense stat higher than 1, basically defense is how many successes it needs to hit. So we're back around to the top of the order with Johnny. You have 1 right in your face. You want to shoot that one?
Yes, I am. I got a 16 and a 13, so 1 success.
Okay. That is enough to hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. I got a bullet hole and 2 thumbs up. So that's 3, right?
Yep. It is injured. Still functioning, though. Justin, Glenn, and Price, y'all's turns.
Okay.
I'm fine keeping the same order.
Okay.
Right.
Are we tracking ammo, by the way?
You should track at least the amount of shots. Clips
Okay.
don't matter, but just keep the amount of
Okay.
shots that you've spent.
Okay, cool.
All right. I got a 2 and a 6. Those are 2
I believe
successes.
the 2 is a critical hit for you.
It is a tag skill. So
So
yeah.
3 total successes.
And that's 4 dice still.
Yep, and you can spend the extra points you just got to increase it by 2 more.
The one that I criticaled out and had the lung bleed, is it still up and kicking?
No, that's the one that melted.
Okay, perfect. Is there a fresh one that hasn't been hit?
There's one that is less injured, but hasn't been hit.
Okay, I'm gonna aim for the one that's less injured with this one.
Okay.
That is a total of 4 bullet holes.
Okay. It is hitting the left leg, and its leg gets severed from its body as it falls down, unable to move.
Okay.
And is dead.
And that critical that earned me a point, that's an action point, correct?
Right. Well, if you get, for every success over what you need to get, gets you the action point.
Okay.
So if a target has only 1 defense and you roll 2 successes or 3 successes, that gives you more action points.
Perfect.
And if there's room in the action point pool, which right now you guys are at 6, you can turn around and just automatically spend it to increase damage if you want, or let it go away if you want. But letting it increase damage is usually the better way to go.
Let's, because we're at our limit, let's increase the damage if it's still alive.
Yeah. Oh no, it is plastered.
It is plastered. Okay. Well, never mind then. I tried.
And not in a good way.
Yeah.
Speaking of plastered, I'm gonna go refill my coffee really quick.
Excellent. Justin, Glenn, it's y'all's turns. I'm sorry, Justin and Price, it's y'all's turns. Price, I want to warn you that if you shoot that rad gun, you're going to hit an ally as well.
Yeah, I was gonna switch to the. Yeah, so I'm gonna use my walking cane on the remaining gecko.
Cool.
That's a TN of 7, so.
Okay.
Well, I got a 1 and a 20. Can't do much different than that.
So the 1 counts as 2 successes, so that's good.
Right. Yeah.
So you can increase the damage by 1 dice. The 20, however, will give you a complication. And let me see what we got for complications.
I'll wait to roll my damage dice until we.
Okay, so what's going to happen is your weapon is going to basically pop out of your hand after you do damage with it. You have to retrieve it to be able to use the melee weapon again.
Okay. So I had a damage of 3. I just rolled the extra damage dice, and I got 2 bullet holes out of that.
Okay. So grand total of what?
Just
5?
the 2.
Just 2.
2
Okay.
damage.
So
Oh wait,
it's still up.
Yeah. So just to be clear, I roll whatever the damage is. I rolled that many dice, and then just add up bullet holes and thumbs ups and all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So just 2 damage.
Okay.
And my cane goes flying.
Yep. Just lands in the ground, starts flopping around like a Bethesda error.
Yeah. Give it the old Midwestern ope.
Shillelagh. Oh.
All right, Justin.
All right. The one that just took a little chop out of my leg. Oh, you little nipper. I'm going to put the gun right up to his head. Again, called shot to the head. That is a 10 and 12, which stinks. Now, using action point from the pool, does that let me reroll both of them if I used it, or does that only do 1?
So you use luck points to reroll.
Okay,
you can
so
spend action points to purchase more dice if you want, which we were going to do that in the next encounter.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and use up 1 more luck. Was it worth it? Yes, I got a 3, and small guns is a 3, so that's 2 successes.
Nice. All right. So you can increase the damage by 1 dice.
Yep, we will do that. So we do 5. And we have 4 thumbs up to the head.
4 damage, and it's down. So you have defeated both of the gecko, or all 3 gecko. They are not fighting any longer. You can attempt to butcher them if you'd like. It's a survival check, or you can just move on.
I was gonna say, can we check their rump sacks, see if they're smuggling any loot?
They're smuggling some meat in that trunk. And to do so, to check for the meat in that trunk, you would need to roll an endurance plus survival check.
Okay, let's do that.
These are
dice.
cocaine geckos.
All right, so survival is actually one of my tag skills at 3.
Nice.
My endurance is a 6, so I'm looking for 9s.
Right.
All right. And I got a single success, a 13 and a 2.
That's enough. You get 2 units of gecko meat.
I'm going to be really immature, and I'm going to like use it as like a tongue and just kind of like, yeah, just make like a weird sound and like gecko meat tongue people, like just wave it at people.
Now, was survival
man.
a tag skill?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so that was 2 successes.
It would have, yes, which technically, and the target is 0, which technically would have netted you 2 action points, but you're at your cap. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
After he does
provided you
that-
in the chat with 1 unit of gecko meat.
Ooh, irradiated. I
this-
love that.
Eating this gecko meat restores 5 hit points and causes 1 point of potential radiation damage, which is Zach's like, cool, that's holy, and Duality's over here like, oh, cool, that could potentially heal me even more because ghouls are immune to radiation and can be even healed from it.
And if I take radiation damage, I get rad points that I can use to cause mayhem and havoc. But I did
Yes.
want to say, when he does the little gecko meat tongue on Glenn, ghouls really do just want to have fun.
Glenn's gonna giggle and put the gecko meat in his pants, just right in the pocket, right in the pocket.
Oh, pocket. Okay, good. Whew.
From one rump sack to another.
You sick people.
So, plugging right along across that map, which let me grab it one more time. That way it stays active in the video.
Now, in terms of being that I took 1 damage to the leg, how much hit points does that leg have? How does that work on these
So-
character sheets?
The way it works with regular hit points is you just have a general hit point pool. If you ever take more than 5 hit point damage on a particular body part, that's when that body part becomes injured at any given time. It's not like a cumulative thing. You couldn't take 4 more damage and now your leg's injured. If you take 5 damage in a single attack, your leg is injured or your body part is injured. The hit points on the character sheet for individual body parts, that's for if you're wearing powered armor. And those
Okay.
powered armor pieces have their own hit point totals. But that's a whole lot of tracking to keep track of.
Okay. So I have my maximum HP -1. So
Currently, yeah. Well, and it's not even that, because that's the other side is radiation damage reduces your maximum HP. You just took regular damage, so you're just an HP down. That's all.
Can I use
All right.
my healing skill on that, or do I need like med packs and stuff?
No, you can absolutely do a healing check on him. So you would roll medicine plus intelligence
Okay.
with a target number of 0 plus the number of full-on injuries that he has. As he has no injuries, the target number is 0. But if you get complications, it can cause problems.
Oh,
I'm sure he's using sterile technique out here in the Mojave Desert.
absolutely. Everything's been irradiated.
Absolutely.
You want me to take a look at that leg?
Seems a bit of a flesh wound. I think we're good enough for now. I'll just tie it off with a little bit of gauze here. I've had worse.
All right. So moving along to the next area, you guys get to what you can an overlook looking at the quarry. There's not a lot to see other than a bunch of pre-war mining equipment. Some have been retrofitted and repaired to where they function now. They're just not being used at the moment. You're not seeing a lot of people around. You're not seeing any people around for that matter. And yeah, it's a quarry with some holes in the walls that lead into the mines. It's also
What kind of equipment seems to be repaired?
some large mining equipment like machines with drills and equipment that you probably have never really heard of, because I'm pretty sure they didn't teach mining in the vault. Large scale quarry manufacturing in the vault. And this is all mostly pre-war stuff. You can just tell it looks like it's been worked on. But it's like large scoopers, drills, things like that. There's some rails with mining carts on them, stuff that looks like it is a mixture, hasn't been used in 200 years and hasn't been used in like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And you guys can head on in to the quarry. Unless
Yeah,
anybody
is
wants.
there a? I was gonna say, is there a way to scope out figure out which tunnel would be best to go into, or is it just
There's
just kind of a
a primary
general?
tunnel with a rail going it through it. That's about the only one. There's some other smaller ones, but they all look in various states of like, oh well, we didn't find anything, so we just kind of backed out of this one. But there is a primary one that has like a rail going into it.
Okay.
Um, uh, Glenn, is your Brahmin going into the cave with you?
Oh, is it big enough to bring the Brahmin into the cave?
The primary entrance, yes.
All right, I think I'm gonna bring Bonnie and Clyde with me into the primary
Okay.
entrance, and we're gonna kind of feel it out from there. We're probably going to
Good.
be leaving Bonnie and Clyde behind at some point in a secure or hopefully secure fashion, because caves are going to get a
Prior to
little
a rail or something.
narrow for the Brahmin.
So
Possibly.
you wander into the primary entrance, and there are actually two people just kind of chilling out, sitting on some old mining equipment, smoking cigarettes, and waiting. They look to be wearing some dirty old ratty suits, like 3-piece suits that haven't been washed in 200 years. And they got a mixture of weird tribal tattoos and their heads shaved. They notice as you guys walk in because it cuts the sunlight. Hey, who are you? This is our territory. We're the boot riders, man. You're not supposed to sound like that.
I got pretty good speech. If I could try something here, I guess.
Go for it.
Hey there, I'm Price Cooper, child of Adam. We came here to pay off your boss, Renault. So why don't y'all just take us right down to him, and we'll hand over the caps for them village folks once we're sure they're all right.
Give me a speech plus charisma roll.
Okay, so that's gonna be an 8. We got this.
Now, before you roll, you
Oh
can
shit.
spin
Well,
action. Okay, well, we can delete the roll before we look if you want to. It's up to you.
no,
Or you
right.
keep it.
I'll keep it.
Okay.
I got a 4 and a 5 on a TN of 8.
2 successes. That's good enough. One of them looks at you, is like, you got the caps on you?
Yes, sir. And he pats his pack, or he just like puts his, not to actually, he's like, got him right here. Show him to your boss when we see him.
Oh my God, Bill, quit with the accent. Jesus. Yeah, just go down the pathway. Renault's there. He's about 2 chambers back. The cows stay though.
I'm gonna
You don't
look
know. You
at
might
them.
got
I'm gonna give them a good stare and be like, "If you touch Bonnie and Clyde, I guarantee you'll be looking worse than me." I'm gonna stick my tongue through the hole in my cheek and then go, ah.
Never mind. You can take them with you. That's weird. Oh my God, Jim, stop that. All right.
I'm going to take up the rear, and as I walk past, I'm going to lean over to Jeb. Now, personally, I think that's a pretty good accent right there. I think you've done a good job. It's everything very intimidating, comes across very strong. I think you got this. You got this, son.
Thank you.
And keep walking on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See, I knew we should have kept that I knew we should have been keeping the accent they made up for us to be the champ. Shut up, Jim. Jesus. So, you go a little back, and there's a teensy tiny amount of background radiation down here. Not enough to cause rad damage, but like, if it's like you get a click like every 3 or 4 seconds. It's just like
Oh,
You
that's
know.
music to my ears.
Starts doing a weird like Quentin Tarantino dance to it.
Look back at the two behind me that aren't the child of Adam, and be like, "You hear each one of those clicks? This is what you got to look forward to."
Bryce just licks his lips.
Well, if
Bring
that
it.
face comes with that much personality, I guess I can't look too negatively on it.
God, you're so positive. So, another chamber. This is the second chamber. There is not much in the way here other than what looks to be a camp for the other two boot riders you just saw. There are some playing cards, a campfire, some bed rolls, some poker chips. That's about it. Nothing much here. If you want to take anything, you can, but it's up to you. Moving on to the next chamber, though. What you find is a large chamber with a bunch of like black rocks all around, like studded in the walls, shiny like obsidian almost, but not really obsidian because that's not how obsidian works. In the middle is there's one guy dressed similarly to the others, though he has less of a business suit that looks old and worn, and more like tribal leathers draped over a business suit. And he looks a little crazed. Tied up against the wall, unconscious, are two other people. You see a young girl, probably no more than about 12, with red hair tied back in a ponytail, and a older male that is bald with a mustache. That at least two people in the team recognize as Doc.
Mitchell?
Fudge his name. Yeah, Doc Mitchell. Thank you. Oh my God, it's been a day. So I hear you got my money. Where is my money? And this gentleman is, you can only assume, is Renault. And I don't have a picture for him. I'm sorry, but he's crazy looking.
Put a picture of Steve Buscemi up there.
Steve Buscemi, but like buffer.
Just jacked Steve Buscemi.
Do we want to try to? I don't know how we can smooth talk our way out of it. Do we want to just try to get the drop on him, or can we do a flashback to discussing our plan on the?
I'll walk up, with my hands raised passively. Well, now
Okay.
we did come here to pay you those caps for your guests over here, but I did see back on the way we came in, you got some cards and some poker chips there, and I'm a former resident of Vault 21, so I definitely understand the need and desire to risk it all. So we had a bit of a proposition for you. If you're willing to take a bet, no risk, no reward now, right? We can either give you the caps and you can give us those people. But obviously, we don't have any real ties to Good Springs whatsoever. But what we could do, and I reach in, hands up, just reach very slowly with my left hand into my pocket and I pull out a poker chip. If you'd like to do a bit of a bet, see, we could do exactly as you want, or might double or nothing. See here, I'll flick this poker chip up.
Shut up. Shut up, man. Bet? You think I'm one of those dirty ass chairmen up in their tower? No, I'm not like them. I don't gamble. I just shoot bitches. And he pulls a gun.
And I. Is there a way I could like hug him and shoot him so only me and him take damage?
Okay. You got to rush him. So let's see what we can do with that.
Okay.
It's going to be an opposed roll. And before you roll, let me tell you some options. It's going to be an
Action
opposed
points.
roll. You can do, instead of strength and athletics, you can give me agility and athletics. Unless you have an optional other idea for an attribute and skill combination. And he's going to have his own roll that I'll do. Now, you can spend action points. You have 6 in the pool. For 1 action point, it adds 1 die to the amount of dice you're rolling. 2 more action points adds a second die. For all 6 total, you get 3 extra dice on your roll. It's up to you. So if you want to spend all 6 action points, assuming everyone else is fine with it, you would be getting to roll 5 dice to try this. Or you could just spend 1 and get an additional die. Sometimes that's a really good return on investment.
Yeah. So, well, unfortunately, agility and strength are the same. Yeah. The only thing I would, since he already pulled his gun, I really couldn't argue any other way. So if everybody's cool, I'll take 1 action point so I can roll 3d20 that way.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Do it.
Good.
Cool.
Good with me.
Shit. So athletics is 2 + 5, 7. They already went away, but I got a nat 20 and no successes. I'm gonna use a luck point.
Does it say, and you can reroll all of them if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll all 3 of those bad boys. Okay. 31. So 15 and 11 and 5. That's a 5. It looked like a 1. Okay, so I got a 5. I think I'll stick with that.
Okay. So 1 success.
1 success, yeah.
He got 0. So you're able to tackle him, not necessarily to the ground, but you can get up close. And what we'll do is we'll use your shot to start initiative.
Okay.
So if you want to do your shot, and then you'll basically skip your first turn in the initiative because that's what you're going to be doing.
Okay. It's just a normal roll. I'm gonna use another luck point. Okay, so I got 1 success with an 8.
All right. He's taking a penalty to his defense because you basically have him in close quarters, and you hit him with this. So give me your damage. Now, if you
Okay.
want, you can opt to spend action points as well from the pool to increase damage. You get 1 dice for each 1 action point you spend. So if you want to save them, we can, or if you want to try and increase damage, it's up to you as well.
I
You
already
got
used
the
one.
hit.
I
You
think.
might as well. Well, I was say
Yeah? Okay.
you got the hit, so you're going to do damage. So might as well spend at least 1.
Yeah, up it up.
All right.
My thought.
Yeah, I'll do 1 more, so that'll give me 4 damage dice.
Okay.
2 thumbs up.
So that means not only does it do 1 damage, but it does 1 radiation damage for each thumbs up. So he's technically taking 2 hit point damage, and he's taking 2 points of rad damage on top of that. So the rad damage as well reduces his hit points by a certain amount.
Nice.
Okay, and I also take that 4 total
Yes,
damage?
you do as well.
Okay. So 11 minus 4. I'm at 7.
Well, does that rad
And that-
boost him?
He gets rad points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have rad resist of 1. And then it says when
So you
suffering rad
ignored
damage.
one of them.
Okay, so I take 1 rad damage. So I still get I have 2 points in rad sponge now. Okay, cool.
He's just gonna start like building up and glowing like Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Kinda.
All right. So I have everyone's initiative because y'all, it doesn't change unless you've done anything to your stats that would change either your perception or agility. But if they haven't changed, then it's not a big deal, including Kim's. Kim's can change it.
We are going to be using chems.
Renault is actually going to be going first. And he's got 1 target right in front of him. So he pops a switchblade out from his pocket and tries to stab you. Price.
Defense of 1.
Okay. He hits you in your left leg. 2 successes. So he does 1 additional success. Not that it helps him at this point. I'm not doing anything fancy for them. Let me find his damage. All right. Too many tabs.
So for him to draw the
So-
weapon, that's a minor action to draw,
Yes.
and then a major action is what he's using to attack with.
Correct.
Okay.
So he stabs you in the leg for 2 points of damage. You do have armor, I believe, at least 1 point of armor in your left leg.
Yeah.
Okay. He does have pierce on his switchblade that he just pulled. So he rolled one thumbs up, which means he ignores 1 point of armor, dealing 2 points of damage to you.
Okay.
And that is his action. Next in the order is Johnny.
So what does fire rate do?
Fire rate allows you to, if you hit, you can opt to spend extra ammo to increase damage. You essentially can spend 1 point of ammo per fire rate, up to your fire rate, to do 1 extra dice of damage. So what is the fire rate on your gun?
Okay, so I have a fire rate of 2, so that means I could do 2 more
bullets for 2 more damage dice.
Okay. And then like this contract I have on Renault, like would it be, is it like a dead or alive situation, or is it?
Oh, they want him dead.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't delivering a corpse when I was supposed to deliver a person.
Right. No, I get it.
So I'm gonna try to shoot him.
Remember, you guys have action points, and anytime you roll over whatever you need for a target number, action points go back into the pool as well.
Yeah, so spend those points.
And as a side note, though he hasn't acted yet, another goon has come out of the woodwork somewhere nearby.
The dice will
So at the
cooperate.
moment, we know we have Renault, we have a goon, and we have 2 behind us that could be coming in at any time as well if they're drawn to commotion.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I got a 3 and a 15, and a 3 is a critical for me.
So that counts as 2 successes. That is
Yes.
definitely going to hit Renault.
Okay.
And you hit him in the torso. Now do your damage.
Okay, I got 3 bullet holes, or no, 3 bullet holes and a thumbs up.
Awesome. And you don't have any like special damage effects or anything on your weapon? It's just thumbs up?
No, I have close quarters and reliable, but I don't think they apply to
Yeah, they don't
this.
work there. So how many bullet holes and how many thumbs up? Sorry.
3 bullet holes and 1 thumbs up, so 4 damage.
4 damage. He takes it to the torso.
Oh yeah. So quick question.
Yes.
Effects on the gamma gun are piercing 1 and stun.
Okay.
Would either one, because I got 2 thumbs up, would either one of those have done anything to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Stun. Let me find out exactly what stun does. Stun. If 1 or more effects are rolled, the target cannot take their normal actions the next turn. Stun characters can spend AP to take their actions. So normal enemies, this would affect normally. He has a special thing where he doesn't. He has so many he can take. But that's good to know for future enemies. Like the geckos, it would have definitely done that to them. And I should have.
Oh,
Thank
gotcha.
you for bringing that to
All
my
right.
attention. Again, there's so many things to keep track of. It's just
Yeah.
Oh, good. We're all learning.
So after Renault and Johnny is Justin, Price, Glenn, and the baddie that has come out of the woodwork. So you guys go first as the players.
Okay.
I'll go last again.
All right.
I will not be going on this round because I already did mine at the top, just so you guys remember.
Yep.
Okay. Johnny?
Johnny's already done their shot.
So it's me.
Justin and Glenn.
All right.
Yep.
I will do it. How many action points we have?
We currently
5, I
have 4
believe.
left.
4. I'm going to
4,
spend
okay.
1 for 3 dice.
Okay.
I'm going to do the roll. And that is a 3, a 1, and an 8 on a 9
Nice.
target number. So that's what, 2 criticals?
Yeah. So 5 total successes. That's 3 action points back in the pool.
Yay! That's a good investment on an action point spent.
We are back to full.
Absolutely.
Are we like totally capped out, or yeah? Because we had 4 I spent, where 3 were at the cap. I'm gonna roll the 4 dice
Yes.
now. That is 4 bullet holes and a thumbs up.
Who are you targeting?
I'm targeting Mr. Renault, who is a jerk.
All right. You are hitting him in his left arm. So you said, was it 4 bullet holes and a thumbs up?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is going to ignore his 1 point of armor.
Yep. Piercing.
Damaging him. Yep. Damaging him in his left arm for 5 damage. Also dealing a critical damage effect to his left arm.
Ooh.
Let me find the left arm one again real quick.
Make it chunky salsa.
Look.
Chunky salsa.
You immediately... Oh, that's the leg. Huh. You drop any object held in that hand, and he was holding his switchblade in his left arm, so he drops his left arm, or he drops his switchblade.
You've disarmed him. Wonderful.
Retaining the switchblade, he drops his left arm somehow.
It just kind of
He
floats
still
there
has
in
the
the
switchblade.
Bethesda fashion.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, this is the Bethesda game.
yeah. Just eyeballs, teeth,
so-
and a switchblade coming at you.
So he now cannot use his left arm, meaning if he happened to have any two-handed weapons, he couldn't wield a two-handed weapon properly. But yeah, his left arm is now injured and broken and busted. And
Now,
took
did
some
it
pretty
take
heavy
2
damage.
successes to hit him?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you got 3 action points back in the
Yep.
pool when he rolled 5 successes. All right.
Just making sure.
That means it's Justin's turn and then the baddies.
All right. So we got this guy. He's grappled. He's not stunned. He is quote unquote disarmed. And we got the other guy coming out now.
Yep.
Is the other one in close quarters range?
He's close-ish.
Okay.
Not close quarters, but he's close.
All right.
So if you want to do melee, you'd have to use your minor action to move up on him.
No, I don't. I definitely don't want to move up on him. I am going to use my pistol, and I'm going to target his head. And I'm going to borrow 1 of the action points from the pool.
Okay.
So I roll 3 d20. 2, 3. I got an 8 and a 9, and small guns and agility. It's a 10, so I got 2 successes.
All right. And you're targeting who again? The goon or the
goon.
or the goon? Okay. You
I
only need
figure
1 success.
they're doing a lot of damage to the main guy. I'm going to try to take out the ancillary person there.
So you do hit him in the head.
Okay. And I got 2 successes, so I'm going to use the second one for an extra damage die.
Okay.
All right.
Keep
so,
in mind also, you can spend more ammo on your weapon if you have a rate of fire to
I
increase the damage.
do as a rate of 2. So how many extra dice?
2 bullets for 2 extra dice.
Okay. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7 dice.
Okay.
To the head. I have 3 thumbs up and 2 bullet holes.
Okay. He has no defense in his head or no armor in his head, so you're doing 5 damage to his head, causing a critical injury.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not going to be good.
A critical to the head. You're momentarily dazed and lose your normal actions in your next turn, though you may spend AP. They don't have AP. Further, you cannot see clearly, and all difficulty tests or all test difficulties increase by 2. So he's got to make like 3s on most tests now to hit anyone. He's yeah. Okay.
I've come here
so
to rescue hostages and shoot bitches, and I have done both.
So you shoot him in the eye, and he's like, "Oh, son of a!" And now it's his turn, and he cannot take an action because he just lost an action from a grievous head wound. His name is now Harry. For that reference,
I'm old.
It's Renault's turn, and he is going to use his minor action to pull his 9mm pistol and shoot point blank at Price.
But it does it count as like a melee?
He's got
Attack?
the weapon has the close quarters quality.
Okay.
So he can fire in melee. It's not going to be any different, really. It's going to hit your
Right.
defense as though he was shooting you normally.
But is it technically a melee attack since he's point blank with it? Like, basically, I'm asking
No?
because Rad Sponge lets me
Oh,
do damage
you can
when I
use Rat
get
Sponge for
damaged.
that.
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
I
that's
forgot.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot to use it last time because I thought it was when I do damage. But yeah.
What is your defense?
1.
Okay. So he is going to hit you in the torso
Okay.
for 2 successes.
Okay.
Dealing 1 point of damage to your torso. Does your armor stop
cool.
it?
Yeah, I have 3 physical damage resistance.
So yeah, it
Nice.
flinks off your chest plate.
Yeah, and then I go ahead and spend my 2 points of Rad Sponge to do 4 die of damage to him.
Nice.
Hopefully, any damage. Well, he got 3
And
thumbs
it'll
up,
be
so I guess just 3 damage.
3 radiation damage of that, which isn't so much damage as it is reducing his maximum hit points. Well, it is also doing damage, but so
Yeah.
he's going to mutate now because he is a notable enemy. And his whole thing is he just gets another minion because all the other mutation things were stupid crazy.
So what's the mutation
Yeah.
thing?
So mutations are for legendary enemies. This was introduced in the Wanderer's Handbook.
Okay.
For anyone that's played Fallout 4 or Fallout 76, when enemies that are like legendary have they hit half HP, they mutate and they get another ability. His ability, because he has the cruel, no, he has the tyrant ability, is he just gets an additional minion when he mutates. It's
Okay.
nothing major. So another minion seems to come out of the woodwork somewhere, which is weird because there's very little woodwork.
Since the bullet plinged off of me, I just vomit radiation into his face or something. Just grab him by Bah!
It's like it tuning forks. It hits the metal chest plate, and you're like, oh,
Go full zeitgeist on him.
oh god. All right, Johnny, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm trying to. I really want this guy dead, so I think I'm going to do another. Use my fire rate thing. I can use that every turn, right? Like I don't. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. I got a 4 and 11, which are both successes.
All right.
Nice.
And then let me roll my damage. I'm gonna spend 2 more ammo. Okay, I got 2 thumbs up and 4 bullet holes.
Okay,
Nice.
so that's 6 damage to his torso, which is crazy good. So he takes that and now also has an injury, and he is bleeding out now. He still has his action. It wasn't a head wound, but he is now bleeding profusely.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so that means it's now Justin, Glenn, Price, and the two minions.
Yeah, so Glenn, then me, then Justin, right?
All right.
Sure.
How many action points we have left?
We have
I think
5
we're
action
full.
points.
5? I'm going to use another one.
Yeah. Okay.
And we are going to try and do a similar thing. We're going to fire with that laser pistol. Let's see what happens. That is 1 success with 1 complication.
Who are you firing at?
Renault.
Okay, it does miss Renault.
Okay. Yep, because he needs the 2. Can I luck that out?
Sure, if you want to.
And that's a reroll of all 3 or just 1?
If you want to do all 3, sure.
All 3.
Well, just a question.
Does that
You
respend
said
the action point?
all 3, or can he keep one of the ones that he's already rolled?
If he wants to keep one of the ones he's already rolled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
So
do that.
you can keep the 1 success.
Yeah, I'll keep the 1 success, and that'll be 1 additional, so it hits.
I thought you just had the heart of the gambler. I didn't.
Yeah, and somebody remind me to take some freaking jet next round.
There. Fun fact, I think taking a Kim is a minor action.
Ooh, so let's take that minor action and do that jet. And that means action points extra action cost one less action point.
Yep. So you can spend one more action point to do another shot if you want to afterwards.
Okay. Let's do that.
So
Nice.
but let's calculate this first shot
Yeah.
that you did first.
So that's, oh God, hold on. All right, 3, 4, boop, 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 boop. That is 3 bullet holes. Yep, 3 bullet holes and a blank.
Okay. You hit him in his already broken arm.
Nice.
It stings. Now, if you want to spend one more action point, you can take another major action. Normally, it costs 2 action points, but since you're on jet, it's only 1.
All right, and that's 2 dice still.
Yes. But then you can also spend another action point to get a 3rd dice if you want.
We'll just go with the 2.
Okay.
And that is 2 successes.
So-
That's a 3
so
and
you're
a
using-
5.
You're using 2 action points?
Total? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we have 2 left.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's 3 and a 5. So it's 2 successes. And that is
Nice.
3
Is
thumbs
the
up.
3 is the 3 a
That is a tag.
attack skill?
That is a tag.
So it's an additional success. So
Okay.
action point back.
Put the action point back in the bank for everybody else. 3
Yep.
thumbs up and
So
a
you
bullet
did 3.
hole.
Okay, so 4 more damage. Renault drops to the ground gasping and then falls face first. The 2 minions seeing Renault fall, well, one sees him, the other doesn't quite. The one minion that just came out of the woodwork drops his gun to the ground. Is like, man, I don't know. Without Renault, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather just go be a chairman. It's okay.
I'm gonna
and the
raise
other
my
one is
gun.
like, huh?
I'm gonna raise my gun to that one. Drop everything you got, including that nice little ammo belt you got on.
Oh yeah, they start dropping all their gear. And Renault bleeds out on the ground. And with that, you have saved Sunny Smiles and Doc Mitchell, and you can return them to town. Some
I'm
of
gonna
you
Scan Renault with my little Pip Boy.
can take a picture. Just like you take a selfie. Johnny, you also were here for Renault too, correct?
Yes, I was going to ask, do I need to take any? I assume I need to take like something from him for proof of.
From piece of his clothing or a finger or whatever.
I take a finger.
Okay.
How do they verify it was his finger?
I mean,
He has very distinct fingers.
I think it's
finger,
one of
his
those
ear.
situations where it's like you could screw over the bounty people that are paying you if you
Mhm.
want, but then now you're gonna have a bounty.
Yeah. And it'd
It's
be
an
like,
honor certificate.
where else would you get a finger anyway? Like,
Well,
come on.
probably a lot of places.
You want a finger? I can get a finger for you.
I can get you a finger. Yeah, I can get you a toe.
Right? Exactly.
People have paid me a lot of
Yeah.
money for fingers.
So, that's the bulk of what I have. There wasn't really much to it. You guys go, you rescue Doc Mitchell, you return to Good Springs and get your money. Going to be 125 caps apiece. Would have been 100 if Dragon was here as well. Before we wrap up, are there any other questions, comments, major concerns?
Can I try
Technically-
healing myself?
Yeah, you roll a intelligence plus medicine.
I'll do the
Technically,
same.
duality should also roll an addiction check to see if you become addicted to Jet.
Yeah.
What is the addiction
Intelligence
on Jet?
plus-
Jet is a addictive 2.
So you need to roll a number of dice equal to the number of doses you've taken of drugs, of chems, this whole adventure, which is 1. And if you roll for every face you roll, that counts as 1 towards your addiction rating. So, like, for example, if the addiction rating is 2, God, I think this is how this works. I've had most of the time in the home game that I have right now, the characters that have taken chems have taken perks ahead of time to reduce the chance they'll become addicted. they've gamed the system. I'm like, that's okay, but like it's fun to like have that risk of like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what dice do you want me to roll? The D6, the D20?
The D6s.
All right, so that's 1d6 then, correct?
Yep.
All right, and I rolled a blank.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay. Yay, I'm not addicted to Jack.
I got yay. I got 2 successes. And I guess this is first aid is what this healing is.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have no injuries,
Um,
correct?
No injuries, just a lot of damage.
Right. And what that does is for when you succeed, you get your first aid rank in healing. I think you can also spend action points to increase it. You can also use a stim pack as part of it to get the stim packs healing.
Okay, so I think it's called healing on here. Where is it?
Yeah, I got 1 success on the medicine check.
Oh, medicine. That's named like 3 different things. Healing, medicine, and first aid. Okay. So I have a tag skill 3 on medicine. So I get 6 hit points back because I double that basically. Because I got 2 successes.
You only get the one if you succeed or fail. That's it. The extra
Okay.
successes become action points.
Okay. So I got 3 and then +1 from my healer perk.
Nice.
So I'm back to 10.
That was it.
I had another. Child of Adam, do I reduce my max HP from taking rad damage too? Yeah. Okay. And how's that come back?
By taking rad away or getting medical treatment to remove radiation.
So I could first aid myself, or I would have to go to like a doctor?
You would need the tools to do it, like either having rad away on hand or going to a doctor.
Wouldn't that be kind of blasphemous for you?
What? Raising my hit points?
No, Radaway.
He's one of those reformed Adamites.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
He's not orthodox.
I'm sure we figured out a way to negotiate with the Adam text in order to allow ourselves to keep on living.
There's always a loophole.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I got to get out west to the glow, and that'll probably just kill me outright anyway. So.
Well, you're only allowed to carry that divine spark for a certain amount. Then you have to release it back so that Adam can do everything they need to do.
I got to share Adam's blessing for sure. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And you can't share Adam's blessing if you're dead.
Yeah,
that's true.
There you go.
So, but that's pretty much it for the adventure. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry it was a bit rocky for here and there, but this is the first time I've actually run like a full-on adventure for this system publicly for a bunch of people I've never run before. So
I have never played any of Modifius's 2D20 system yet. I just have never had the opportunity or the group to play with. So this was great to learn and have a chance to just kind of start it out. The only question I have is on the luck points. You said that you don't get any back. So how does the luck work?
You do at the session. You do after the session.
Okay, so it's once per session. You got a full pool to start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
That makes sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now some other
good
stuff
wacky fun.
Yeah, some other rules that I didn't take into account. Technically, I as a GM should have action points too. I honestly didn't want to track them. But I'm supposed to get action points based on like that's one of the things I can do whenever you guys have the natural 20s, the critical failures, is I can just get action points instead of causing other problems for y'all. Which is nice in that regard. The other stuff too, there's just so much fiddly mechanics to keep track of. I mean, looking at your weapons alone, like there's 13 like traits that your weapons all have, and each of them do different things, and it's so much for me to keep track of as well. But yeah, I had a great time. Thank you for allowing me to run for your podcast.
Absolutely.
I'd like to run something a little less complex in the future.
And just
that wasn't too bad, honestly.
That Vault 21 at the midnighttavern.com gets you 15% off of any of your Fallout purchases I will be restocking some of that in the next week or so. This will be running at least till the 14th. And a certain portion of the profits will also go to Ronin's Den to help fund their channel and all the things that they do, which is obviously things like bringing these awesome one-shots to everybody and a chance to learn new systems, because we don't want to rely on just one system. All the systems, play all of them.
Absolutely. That website and promo code will be in the description of this video when it gets uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. So if you're watching this, it's either Sunday or a day after that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As always, we do a follow-up episode the following week where we talk about the mechanics, what we liked about the system, what we didn't like about the system. So hopefully all or some of you can make it back, and we can chat about how Modiphius's 2D20 Fallout system felt to play and run. Thank you, and we'll catch everybody again next week for the system breakdown. Have a good night.
Thanks so much.
Bye.